Watch this. One command. No subscription, no credit card. And in under 4 minutes, a full working login system gets built, tested, and fixed automatically without me touching a single line of code. This is not Claude Code. This is not Codex. This tool costs $0 a month, and most developers have never even opened it because it launched quietly and got buried under bigger announcements from OpenAI and Anthropic. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to set it up, exactly where it beats the paid tools, exactly where it will burn you if you are not careful, and exactly how to run the same test I run on every new coding agent before I trust it with real work. Stick around for the middle part, because there is a mistake almost everyone makes in their first week with this tool, and it quietly wastes your entire weekly quota without you noticing. And by the time you notice, you are already locked out until the reset. Here is why this actually works, and it is not because Google suddenly got generous. Every coding agent on the market right now is really two separate things stacked on top of each other, and almost nobody explains this clearly before selling you a subscription. The first thing is the model. That is the brain, the part that actually understands your code, reads your files, and decides what to change. The second thing is the harness. That is the system wrapped around the brain, the part that manages your files, your terminal, your permissions, how many steps the agent takes before it stops and asks you something, and how much of your codebase it keeps in memory at once. Two tools can run the exact same underlying model and still feel completely different to use, purely because of the harness wrapped around it. That is the part almost nobody talks about when they compare these tools by price alone. Claude Code has one of the best harnesses on the market right now. Careful step-by-step editing, clear permission prompts, strong awareness of your whole project. But you pay for every bit of that intelligence. And during busy hours, you can hit rate limits even on the higher plans right in the middle of a task, which is exactly when you do not want to be interrupted. Codex flips the model completely. Instead of working step by step with you, it takes a task, disappears into a sandbox, and comes back later with a finished diff for you to review, almost like assigning work to a junior developer and checking their pull request afterward. Powerful for delegation, but if you like steering the agent in real time, watching it think, correcting it mid-task, that workflow feels distant and slow to get used to. Google looked at this exact gap, a fast, capable harness with no ongoing cost, and built something that undercuts both of them on price while trying to match the harness quality of the paid tools. That tool is called Anti-Gravity CLI, and it quietly replaced the old Gemini CLI for individual users back in June, which means a lot of tutorials online right now are already talking about the wrong tool without realizing it changed. Before we go further, if this is useful so far, tap like right now. Drop a comment with the tool you currently pay for, and subscribe, because the next part is where this gets genuinely practical, and I'm about to show you two real builds, not a scripted demo. Let's actually build something, right now, live, with no editing tricks. Open your terminal. Anti-Gravity CLI installs the same way most modern CLI agents do, through a single install script pulled from Google's own documentation page. And I want to be specific here because this matters more than it sounds. Always grab the install command from their official docs, rather than a random blog post or a video description, because these install links get outdated fast, and running an old script can leave you on a broken version without any warning. Once it is installed, you sign in with a normal Google account, the same one you already use for Gmail or Drive. No API key required for the free tier, which already puts it ahead of Codex for anyone who does not already pay for a ChatGPT subscription, with Codex access included. Now type a real instruction, not a toy example, because toy examples are why so many people get fooled by flashy demos and then get disappointed the first time they try something real. Something like this. Build a Node Express API with a sign-up and login route. Hash passwords with bcrypt, store users in a local SQLite database, and write 2 tests that confirm a wrong password gets rejected. That is 4 separate requirements in one sentence, which is exactly the kind of instruction that separates a real coding agent from a glorified autocomplete.
Hit enter. Watch what happens. Anti-Gravity reads your empty folder, decides on a file structure, creates the server file, creates the database file, creates the test file, installs the dependencies it needs on its own, and then runs the tests itself without being asked. If a test fails, it does not stop and dump a wall of red error text on your screen the way older tools used to, leaving you to figure out the fix yourself. It reads the failure, identifies which file caused it, edits that file, and reruns the test automatically, sometimes 2 or 3 times in a row until it passes. That loop, write, run, fail, fix, rerun, is the entire value of an agentic coding tool. That is the whole pitch in one sentence. And anti-gravity does it without you paying per token, without a usage meter ticking in the corner of your screen. Sit with that for a second, because this is the actual shift. A year ago, this loop was the headline feature of a $100 a month product. Now, it is a free download. This is where most people stop watching tutorials and just trust the output completely. Ship it, move on. And that is exactly the mistake I promised to warn you about earlier. Here it is. And pay close attention, because this one habit will save you.
If you are a student, a solo builder, or someone testing an idea before committing real money to it, anti-gravity removes the financial barrier completely, and that alone is worth the download. Second, ecosystem integration, which nobody talks about enough. If your project already lives inside Google Cloud, this tool has first-party extensions for Firebase, Cloud Run, BigQuery, and Flutter, meaning it can deploy directly into services you are already paying for and already familiar with, something neither Claude Code nor Codex does natively out of the box. Third, and this is the part people skip entirely, remote workflows. Anti-gravity was built to be lightweight enough to run comfortably over SSH. So if you code from a remote server, a cloud workstation, or a lower-powered machine, it feels noticeably snappier than the alternatives. Less lag between your command and its response. Now, the honest downsides, because I am not here to sell you on one tool blindly. Claude Code still edges it out on long, multi-hour refactoring tasks where deep context matters more than raw speed, because Anthropic's models are specifically tuned for sustained reasoning across a large, tangled codebase over an extended session. Codex still wins if your workflow is fully asynchronous, meaning you assign a task in the morning and just want a clean pull request waiting for you by lunch, since its sandbox and worktree system was purpose-built for exactly that pattern of delegate and review. And because anti-gravity is newer to this specific individual-focused form, its plugin ecosystem is smaller right now. So if you rely on a very specific community extension that only exists for Claude Code, you may not find an equivalent yet, and that gap will take time to close. Let's run a second real example, live again, because one test is never enough to actually trust a tool with your work. This time, ask it to refactor existing code instead of writing new code from scratch, which is a genuinely much harder task for any agent, because it has to understand intent, not just generate output.
Point it at a messy file, something like a single 400-line function that handles user registration, input validation, and email sending all crammed into one place, the kind of file every real codebase has somewhere. Tell it, split this into 3 separate functions, keep all existing behavior identical, and write a test that proves nothing changed. This is where the real difference between a genuinely good harness and a flashy demo video shows up clearly. A weak agent will rewrite half the logic by accident while trying to clean it up, changing behavior you never asked it to touch. Watch closely here, because this exact moment is what actually tells you whether a tool is production ready or just demo ready. Anti-gravity, in most of my runs on this exact test, kept the original logic fully intact and only moved code around into cleaner functions, which is precisely what a refactor is supposed to do, nothing more. That single test, refactor without breaking behavior, tells you more about a coding agent than any marketing page or benchmark chart ever will. If you want to trust it yourself instead of just trusting me, run that exact test on whatever tool you are currently using, paid or free, before you hand it real client work or anything with actual users attached. So here is the actual decision, stripped of all the hype and marketing language. If you are earning money from client projects that need deep, sustained reasoning across a huge, messy code base, Claude Code still justifies its price tag, and I would not switch away from it for that specific case. If your workflow is fire and forget, assign a task, walk away, review a diff later on your own time, Codex fits that shape better than anything else on the market right now. But if you are learning, prototyping, building side projects, testing an idea before it earns $1, or simply do not want another monthly charge sitting on your card, Anti-Gravity CLI does roughly 90% of what the paid tools do for $0. And that remaining gap is only going to close further as Google keeps shipping updates to it.
The golden move here, the one habit that actually matters more than which tool you pick, is not picking one tool forever and marrying yourself to it. Keep your project instructions and your validation rules written in a plain text file inside your own repository, not locked inside one tool's private settings where you cannot take them with you. That way, switching between Anti-Gravity, Claude Code, or Codex next month costs you nothing because your actual workflow lives inside your project, not inside someone else's app waiting to be discontinued or repriced. That one habit is what separates people who stay flexible and calm every time a new tool launches from people who get stuck rebuilding their entire setup from zero, again, every few months. I test new AI deals every week. If a new free method comes out, you'll see it here first. Now go open your terminal, run that install command, and try the refactor test yourself on this tool or whatever you are already using before you decide which one earns a permanent spot in your actual workflow.